Good day, everyone. I will be reporting on the biographical movie posted in the course, which is about the life as the of Steve Jobs as the CEO and the founder of Apple Incorporated. So let's start. So these are the known logos of Apple. The rainbow logo right here is used in the 1970s up to late 1990s in 1998, I think. And the other logo here at the right is used from the early 2000s up to uh, recently. So this is known to be printed on the phones, the iPads, and the MacBooks available in the market. So here are the known products of MacBook, Apple, I mean. So here we have the MacBook Pro, developed, of course, from the Apple Macintosh personal computer, which uh, was the main purpose of Apple in the 1970s, is to bring the personal computer up to the masses, so that the personal computer can be accessible at their homes, not just in their offices. I think back in the 1970s, IBM was the largest company that manufactured computers that is used by the large companies in the United States uh, to fill in with doing and finishing their auditing processes and with the basic uh, task of saving a database or creating a database for theoretical auditing and documentation of numbers when it comes to statistical aspects of the company. So next we have the Apple iPad. iPad was launched by Apple so that everyone can have portable music playing devices that can fit into basically every pocket of your clothes. Just like this is the smaller version, and there's also the iPad that has a screen, an LED screen for easier access to the name of the files and the easier access to an equalizer for the sound definition of the music files. And lastly, of course, the latest iPhone, which is the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13. I used to own a iPhone 4S, which I very much like and had it for 3 to 4 years without breaking. So yeah, this is the latest iPhone. So the iPhone is Apple's answer to the improvement of mobile phones in 2012 when basically you can do your computing, your cloud storage, your when the iPhone was launched in around 2009, 2010, it already marked the end of the Apple iPad right here at the lower right. Uh, when the Apple iPhone incorporated the music player. Okay, let's see. So the profile history of the company. So Steve Jobs' name is Stephen Paul Jobs. He was born in the 24th of February 1955 in San Francisco, California. Um, he, uh, he he attended school, of course, high school, and of course in college, in Reed College, but he didn't like the program he was in, so he did not finish his degree because his true calling was to be the improvement of technology when it comes to computing, and also to make the personal computer accessible for the public and accessible as a home appliance rather than just an appliance being used in offices and huge companies. So, so here it is. So he focused in the 1970s, creating the personal computer with Mr. Steve Wozniak in 1975, launched Apple Incorporated. After his death in 2011, recently in 2022, he received the posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom for his works as the CEO of Apple. So me as a person who has possessed an Apple device before can testify that uh, their company really is a success, and their company does not ignore the complaints, the suggestions, and the critiques made by their customers. When they think that when they really listen to the consumers when it comes to updates, because you can see them when, for example, my phone before it always was updating, and there are excuse me, there are key features that has is constantly being added and constantly being improved every time or every period of update uh, is being done on the iPhone. It was an iPhone 4S, so it was 7 years before, but it is at that time in 2014 up to 2016, um, before the iPhone 11 was launched. It was the pinnacle when it comes to cell phone quality back then. When they say that you have an Apple iPhone 4S, it's like saying that you have a very nice jewelry that has an LED touchscreen and an access to internet. So let's move on. Next slide. So the leading and controlling functions of the management of Apple. So let's start first with leading. So in leading, Mr. Jobs, even from the movie and even at real life, Mr. Jobs is a applies autocracy when it comes to his leadership. So what does autocracy mean? An autocratic leader is a leader who applies the absolute power. So he has he has his hands on every department of the company. So the design team, the marketing team, the accounting team, he has a hand in those, and he knows what's going on in there. And what Mr. Jobs' job, so pun intended, was to inspire and listen to what was going on, what's the bad factor, what is the problem, and his task there now is to solve these problems and improve mistakes or errors that has been done or what is about to, to go bad or to go wrong in each of the department of his company or his organization. So Mr. Jobs was always keen on details when it comes to design, when it comes to the functions, when it comes to the features that uh, he is going to apply or his team is going to apply in a particular device that they are currently working on or they are currently developing. Mr. Jobs also does not plan to delegate tasks and roles when it comes to the company. He always, like I said before, has a hand in everything. His job there was to, if the if the team cannot solve it, he is the one who is going to not do it for them, but do it with them and guide them uh, as they progress. Okay, so he always wants to participate in every fiber and every detail regarding to the routines inside his organization. So that solidifies what I said earlier, that he has a hand in every department of Apple. Lastly, he motivates his employees together with being a exemplary leader. So he's an exemplary leader. He has the authority, but he also inspires and motivates his employees and his partners and the board, of course, to do what is supposed to be done and to do it as soon as possible. Not just do, but do it right. So the controlling functions, he applies the preliminary and feedback control. Why? Preliminary controlling methods, as I have seen, is he he before launching a particular device or when they're still developing it, he he already predicts the what would go wrong. He already has an idea of how to solve what can go wrong when they try or test this new device. He always, of course, it will always have an error on the device when it is launched initially, but he always try to see the maximum amount of errors before testing or launching of a particular device in order to make the device more reliable when it goes to the customers. So that is when the feedback controlling methods will come in. So when it comes to feedback controlling methods, there are people who, for example, a guy buys an iPhone and he is not contented with the features and there's a error, there's a bug in the software. So he's going to contact Apple to email or to the help messaging to basically to provide them a feedback of what should be updated, what should be corrected, and what should be added more in the next update of the products. That is why Apple, in a few times in a year, there would always be a notification of would you like to update your device into the latest software? Yeah, there is a reminder always in Apple devices. I have no idea now how it is done in the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 11, but I think in my iPhone 4S before there is a notification to update the existing software into a newer one with newer features. And it does improve the reliability and the processing of the phone when it comes to taking photos, computing, storage, and multimedia. So the reason for success of Mr. Jobs is he's always in complete control of the employees and the company as a whole. Not perfectly, but he does it as much as he can. Like I said before, he has a hand in every department of the company. He always knows the details of the current events of the company. So yun. Innovation is always the key for accumulating more customers. In That is the key in Apple because they have uh, they have this vision of innovation when it comes to launching of a newer device. When they update a device or have a newer model coming out, it's not just the new model that oh, it's the same. No, it's not the same. It is already innovated with additional features. improved display like that, and improve ergonomics and the general user interface of the device, maybe a MacBook or an iPhone or a Mac OS personal computer. Lastly, Apple delivers the satisfaction that the consumers of their products seek in proportion to the price offered to them. You would pay a 25,000, at least 25,000 pesos in buying an iPhone. So that 25,000 pesos for a new unit, I don't know what the price right now. Is it 40,000 or 35,000? Something around those numbers. Of course, Apple would deliver the features that is worth your 35,000 or your 40,000 pesos. And that goes too with the more expensive devices like the MacBook and the Macintosh personal computer. So that's my experience with my iPhone 4S. So my iPhone 4S back then was worth 20 to 22,000 pesos in 2014. And in my experience as a user or a former user of an Apple device, Apple had delivered, not perfectly, of course, but Apple delivered the satisfaction meant for me. So, sorry. Um, in Lastly, of the we have the learnings of the managing of the company, of course, in Apple. Always be participative, even if you are the head or the representative of the organization. Don't just boss around. Make sure that you also do your part as the boss, and you always have the idea what's going on in the company and what is being made or being processed in the company or in the organization. Do not just be on the top, but try to go to the lowest aspect or the lowest department of the company. Next is always motivate and inspire your staff in working harder. That said, same goes with the head of the organization. What I said here is always motivate and inspire your staff uh, to do uh, what is what is importantly going to be done inside your company or your organization for them to work harder and achieve the common goal. And through that inspiration, they might just get more out of the primary objective or what you envision of getting from the work being done. That said, this is also safe for the manager. You should also inspire yourself by seeing your subordinates working hard. You should also inspire yourself to do your part in the company, not just sit around. Next is even if you are an executive, always participate in problem solving, of course. In problem solving, not all of your subordinates can do it, and they will ask your help. Help as much as you can because you are not the boss. You are a leader, and leaders guide, and bosses sit around and dictate. Next is let the employees know where to find inspiration in the workplace. This is when ergonomics is going to mix with inspirational design. With as you can see in the office of Apple, there is always a inspiration when it comes to just walls, the doors, the workplace. You'll always see inspiration around it, whether it be technology, whether it be nature, whether it be humane aspects, all in it. Always make your workplace inspirational and ergonomical for the workers. Next is do not just boss, like I said, finally, do not just boss around because there is a difference between a boss and a leader. A boss just sits around, dictates, make money, and usually share uh, don't usually share the benefits of the company or the organization to his or her subordinates. But a leader will always guide, like a parent, will not let mistakes happen lightly, but leaders will make you learn from the mistakes rather than just uh, sitting it in the corner. A leader will always guide his or her subordinates towards success. A leader will be like a parent rather than just being a boss inside a workplace. Okay, thank you very much. My report ends here. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye.